Today we will be discussing whether or not modern education is failing us as students. Now, the modern education system was designed to help us prepare for the future, whether that is to get jobs, help us succeed in life, get us to our future goals, or to help us leap into adulthood. Now, but what if I told you we haven't evolved within that in the last 100 years? All this technology was given to us as an opportunity to evolve, yet we haven't grasped it for the better good of the people. Let me show you why. Take this phone, for example. It was made over 100 years ago, and compare it to the iPhone or any other smartphone of your choice. And have a look at this car. It was made over 100 years ago, and compare it to our modern-day car. The possibilities are endless when it comes to evolution and technology around us. Yet, it doesn't seem like the case when it comes to evolving in education. We went from wooden boxes that had to be stuck on walls or poles to portable smartphones with touchscreens, and from cars that were man-powered and could barely drive up a hill to modern-day cars that are now eco-friendly, self-sufficient, and automatic driving cars. Now, you may think that a lot has changed, but you're wrong, especially when you compare a classroom in the 1900s and compare it with a modern-day classroom. Now, I have a suggestion to help us in general learning, and that is to get rid of core subjects. I'm not saying you shouldn't do math or science, but I'm saying once you enter your secondary life, you should be able to choose what subjects you want to do when you pursue your future career. Now, the world today is led by people in society who think creatively, innovatively, and independently. Now, by choosing your subjects you enter secondary, you get all those things together. You become independent. You learn to choose things by yourself and look into the future. Wouldn't you want to be one of those people?
Now, just consider this. An average secondary student spends 7,000 hours in their secondary education. An average secondary student spends 1,000 days in their secondary education. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of those 7,000 hours, how many of those 1,000 days are truly valuable? How many of those 7,000 hours, how many of those 1,000 days impact the future of the students? Now, everyone in this room has a different dream, a different interest, something different that they want to do with their lives. If that's the case, why do we all learn the same things, sat in the same classrooms, getting given the same homework and sitting the same exact exams? And most of those 7,000 hours and most of those 1,000 days are spent sat at desks, writing. Now, personally, I have always found writing difficult as I have significant writing problems, as I have dysgraphia, which in turn has made learning difficult for me because I'm always asked to write. And it's no surprise that for me, the subjects I succeed in most and am most confident in and enjoy the most are PE, music, and drama, which require minimal or no writing. Now, we should be learning outside, outdoor classrooms. We need to break down the walls of the classroom, learn outside, be among nature. We need to both learn and teach outside and indoors. If we are all learning outdoors together, it creates bonds, team-building experiences, and team-building activities, and we grow bonds together. Another way that we can learn, school trips, residentials. We bond together through team-building activities. We do things together. We experience happiness. We do everything together. Another way we can learn, outdoor classrooms. Now, some teaching philosophies recognize the outdoor classroom, such as forest schools and EYFS, or Early Years Foundation Stage, which is from the ages of 3 to 5. Early Years has a great curriculum because it regards each child uniquely and follows the interests of the child, and they learn through play. And children in early years, they learn the same amount of time indoors and outdoors equally.
Now I'm going to talk to you about how we use the internet and modern-day technology today in classrooms. Well, with permission, students are granted the opportunity to use their smartphones or laptop or computers to look up stuff on the internet as a substitute of having to look through textbooks and worksheets. Yet we also given the privilege of having smartboards that help showcase presentations as well as show videos. Now, I think we are able to modernize this even better. First thing, we should be able to have child-led learning, meaning that students teach each other. Now, this is a suggestion as many students, they have a better bond with one another rather than having with teachers. And for example, you may not understand this, and many students, they have a fear of asking, or as they might be made fun of, or they just have a fear of asking the teacher. Well, with having child-led learning, students will be able to eradicate those fears and ask those questions without being pressured. Another one of these examples is to be self-taught. Now, this can either be done in groups or individually. As being self-taught, you should be able to learn at your own pace and learn with others. Now, by being self-taught and learning at your own pace, you won't have a fear of moving too fast from topic to topic, as you should be able to feel like you're ready to progress as you go through your secondary life.
Finland. The Finnish education system is one of the best education systems and one of the most successful education systems in the world to date. And why is the Finnish education system so good? The Finnish education system has the shortest school day of the year, 5 hours, and it's the shortest in the developed world. Outdoor learning sessions are also embedded as part of the core curriculum. And teachers and students have a very strong relationship, a very strong bond, and a great mutual respect for one another. Students in Finland are also encouraged to call teachers by their first Christian name, further strengthening their bond and mutual respect for one another. Students in Finland wear non-uniform and to promote individuality, and they are promoted to express themselves and relax during their lessons.
Now, I'm going to expand on Billy's idea. You might ask yourself, why does Finland only do 5 hours of school when compared to every other country in the world, they do 7 or more? Why is it only that they are handed almost no homework and only 1 test at the end of the school year, and yet they still achieve top scores? Well, this is because studies have shown that the one main reason for failure in school is stress. I'm pretty sure all of you have experienced stress once or more. Now, without having homework or tests, they are able to eradicate stress within students, and therefore students are able to focus on their school life and as well as their personal lives outside of school. Now, why is it that students, they only take 1 major exam once they enter college at 16? Well, this is because they aren't tested during their secondary lives as much as we are, but yet they are still monitored and consistently assessed. And they are only given tests based on what they choose to pursue in the future. Now, without having regular tests, teachers don't have any expectations for the students to meet. Therefore, students don't have the fear of failing or feeling like they don't meet the standards. But the teachers do give each student targets. And as students progress through their lives, they reach those targets, and each individual is celebrated and congratulated as they reach that goal.
Is modern education failing students? How can modern education move forward? How can we support children to succeed? We need to break down the classroom walls. We need to be learning outdoors, both teaching, learning indoors and outdoors. We need to focus outside of the curriculum, teaching students basic life skills like how to buy a house, how to raise a child, basic first aid, and practical everyday life skills. We need to embrace the unique and whole child and support their spiritual, mental, and physical development. We need to change to a modern education system. We need to change to an education system that is not tunnel vision towards the end goal of academic achievement and the university pathway. We need a modern education, a culture, a mindset that can promote the individualities of every person in the world.
Now, one final thing. Are we right in preparing students for the future, or are we wrong and truly preparing them for the past? Thank you.